Let's talk about week 15 of the NFL. Welcome back to Real TV Sports. We're actually going to start with a recap of week 14 of the NFL. Pretty mid slate. I'd say I gave it a C plus. There were some really good games like the Bills and the Rams. The Dolphins went into overtime and won. Oh, the Cowboys Bengals
Lions,
was
Lions, Packers was close
Lions
too.
Packers. Then there were stinkers. I mean, you had Giants and Saints on the slate, which
Or
not pretty.
You know what really brought it up for me though? The Bills game. That was like the best 4 o'clock game of the year.
Yeah.
yeah,
Like I was trying to think because I'm always at my grandma's for the 4 o'clock, and I was trying to like it's always like not entertaining. I feel like the game that's on.
It's been a terrible year for 4 o'clock.
this year for prime time has been good.
They have been good. They've been defensive
They've been,
though.
yeah, but that's fine. Like people out there hitting each other. That's what football's about.
1 o'clock has been pretty hit or miss.
Tough slate when you have the Bills game that could bring that slate to an A plus, and then you got Jags Titans. So I mean
Hey,
that's a D plus C minus slate at best.
I thought the slate was like a C plus this week. People didn't really give credit to the Dolphins game. It went to overtime. It was a pretty good game.
Yeah.
Also, the Packers game came down to the wire. My favorite game was the Rams versus Bills this week.
But one more thing about last week. I've seen enough. I think it's Michael Penix time in Atlanta.
I agree.
You won't find a bigger Kirk Cousins guy than me. You seriously won't, but I think he's done. He looks terrible.
I don't think they do it yet though.
No, not in the
after this
playoff
year.
hunt.
Now's
They
not the
won't.
time.
Well, actually, Coach Gruden made a good point. He said, if Michael Penix was good enough to be out there, he would be. Maybe they know something we don't.
That's why they drafted him, just because of this reason.
Or like, is Kirk looking good in like practice and not producing in games? Like you don't
Maybe.
know.
Well, Kirk had that stretch of 11 touchdowns and no interceptions, and now he's on a no touchdown, 8 interception streak over 4 games. So he hasn't
Yeah,
been terrible all year, but now
yeah.
it's getting scary.
Yeah.
I think
It's
it's
just
the
Kirk.
system
It's
he's
just
in.
Kirk being Kirk. This is what Kirk Cousins is.
Yeah.
I think Atlanta's defense is underwhelming.
It's a lot of
Like
names.
you can throw on them.
Oh, yeah.
You could throw on their defense.
One of those guys, I don't know
Agree.
which DB it was, but like on that Jefferson touchdown, it was like the most sorry thing ever.
There's
Like
Terrell.
sprinting backwards and
That was
fell.
that was a bad look.
Yeah, that
No, that
sucks.
wasn't Terrell.
Oh no, it wasn't Terrell. It was one of their backups. But like,
Yeah.
still, why is he in the game?
Kind of relatable though. Like Jefferson got 20 yards of space on you. Like you're in trouble. Run.
You know what's gonna happen? Like,
He turned around and started gunning it. I mean, Jefferson's hand was up for like 10 seconds. Like,
Yeah, so he thought the ball was coming the whole time. He's like, man, this thing's got to be here by now.
speaking of like those receivers, Jamar Chase is completely unbelievable. Torched Dallas. But I've been seeing some things go around that Jamar is better. I strongly disagree. I firmly disagree, I should say. I think if you put Jefferson on the Bengals, it would be completely unprecedented. Keep in mind, he does have Sam Darnold.
ready for
but-
this? Next year, they're all gonna be on the Vikings.
Wow. I mean, that's a hot
Ooh.
take.
I mean, what's your path of Joe Burrow to the Vikings?
I I can just see it, man. See it. Like they're all gonna play together again one day.
He'd be in the Pro Bowl.
Now, I mean,
It always felt like it would have to be the Bengals since it's two of them
Already
there.
got two of them. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't feel like that. I feel like the Vikings have a better coaching staff, better organization.
Trade T. Higgins and 17 first round picks for Justin Jefferson, and you're guaranteed to have the most overpowered offense ever. But yeah, week
That's
14, there wasn't much going on. We mentioned the Bills. We'll talk about week 15 now. Let's rate the slate.
I mean, you got games like Packers, Seahawks, Sunday Night Football, Bills, Lions after that incredible Bills game last week.
That's
You got
electric.
Steelers, Eagles, but then you got games like Chiefs, Browns. And I love the Browns this year. I love Jameis, but it's Chiefs, Browns this year. You got Cowboys, Panthers. You got Jags, Jets. The great is great. The bad is bad. I'm going to go with a flat B here just for the upside of what Lions, Bills could be.
Yeah, I like a B there. I mean, even the Steelers game, probably my most anticipated, honestly. Battle for Pennsylvania. I think that'll be a fun one. But yeah, that Bills Lions game. I hope that's like just scoring through the moon.
I completely agree. There's some possible game of the year candidates in here. With that being said, though, I'm gonna give it an F because I labeled it my demise. Because I'll tell you what's gonna happen. All the fantasy leagues you've been checking in on all year, you didn't get a single first round bye. Somehow, some way, every one of your players is gonna mess up, and then the next week you're gonna be sitting at home watching from the couch.
I like that prediction because I'm playing you in fantasy this week, but I love it.
But we're scrappy.
Oh,
ETN,
yeah.
Swift, they're absolute scrappers.
One thing I got to point out about like week 15 in general,
Yeah.
we're saying how it's going to be a B flat slate. I'm looking at some of the games from last year that were the games. Week 15, Cowboys Jags, the 52-yard game-winning pick six in OT.
Oh,
Week 15, Patriots Raiders, the Mac Jones, Jacoby Myers, Chandler Jones, whatever you want to call that. Last year, the Drew Lock touchdown drive against the Eagles for Seattle.
yeah, that was a good one. Yeah.
Legendary.
Did anyone else have a rating for this slate?
I give it a B minus. I feel like there's a lot of crappy games, but I feel like they're going to be trap games.
There's trap games out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, watch out for that Chiefs game. You know, they have nothing to lose.
That's what I was thinking too.
You ready for this? I'm gonna give it a B plus. Thursday night, we got a divisional game. That division's up for grabs. Titans Bengals. That's a revenge game for Titans coach. Steelers Eagles, the Battle of Pennsylvania. Ravens Giants sucks. That's a blowout. Jets Jaguars. That's going to be a better game than we think. Cowboys Panthers. That is
That's
also
fun.
a game than we think.
That's fun.
28-27 for sure.
Yeah, Jonathan Mingo revenge game coming.
Oh,
Commander Saints awful game. I wouldn't watch that if my life depended on it. Chiefs Browns. Keep an eye on it. Dolphins Texans is going to be one of the most highest scoring games of all time.
I
That's-
can see it.
that's fun.
We're getting to the 4 o'clock and primetime games. We're starting off with Bills Lions. That's a Super Bowl matchup.
You're making a compelling argument. I might have to join you in B
There's-
plus territory.
I'm going to be honest. I may even put it in an A minus. This might be
Wow.
one of the best weeks of NFL football we see this year.
Joe
Yeah.
Burrow's the MVP of the league, hands down. Shouldn't even be questioned anymore.
Steelers are the most complete team in the AFC.
I know a couple weeks ago. Let me fix my hat for this one. I said the Vikings suck. Let me fix the hat again. I think the Vikings, they with that receiving core and that coach, I'm looking onto the distance right now. I think the Vikings can make some noise. I think they can be NFC Championship hopefuls. And honestly, if they get the right matchup, they can make the Super Bowl. Stand by it or die by it. I don't care what you got to do.
I
don't
feel like
even-
a first round exit.
Same.
Honestly, yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. Same?
They can definitely be a first round exit.
I'm so confused.
I don't
I'm
think
lea-
they will be. I don't
I'm
think they
leaning
will.
first round exit.
They can definitely beat the Packers. They can beat the Lions.
But yeah, let's get into what everybody's really waiting for. Our locks and our upsets. Starting off with the lock of the week. Chirk.
The Ravens.
Fair enough. They're minus
Lay up.
950, 14.5
Job,
spread.
kid.
Yeah, I could sniff out a Loch Ness, so I switched it up. I went with the Commanders over the Saints. And I'm gonna double down and take the Ravens as well, just to make make it interesting.
Give me the Broncos over the Colts as my lock.
Wow.
Yeah. How about
like
that?
it.
Wow.
I
Give me
like
the
it.
Broncos over the Colts.
The
Yep.
Peyton Manning
I
game.
do like it.
Yes, I love it. I
The
love it.
Manning Bowl.
Give me the Ravens. I mean, they have to win this game.
Oh, it's a monster.
Well, there it is, folks. That's a Loch Ness monster.
I'm gonna take Vikings over the Bears. How you're talking about them? They're hot, red hot.
They
Yeah.
are.
They won
Awesome.
like 9 in a row or 8 in a row or something.
Yeah, and the Bears look bad.
Yeah, dysfunctional is a good word. Yeah, this past week, a lot of people went 1-1. If you can't tell, I was mustached. I went 0-2 with my picks. Derek was mustached. This is Derek's second time avoiding a mustache. So I'm gonna say if he gets mustached this week, he has to dress up as a woman.
Let's boo them anyway.
Some booze real quick.
Boo. Yeah, and you can boo me. Boo. On the flip side, Lewis went 2-0. We'll roll the Rizzler right down there. Lou's not here to celebrate his Rizzler, which
It's
sucks.
like it's a mini Rizzler.
Can we
A mini-
boo 'em
Real
anyway?
small,
Boo.
real short.
It's a Riz. It's a
Quick
Riz.
boo, quick boo.
A lot of people looking for a bounce back here, or just keep the boat afloat. We'll roll into the upsets.
We touched on this a little bit before about how this could be the highest scoring game of the year and probably going to be the highest scoring game of the week. Give me the Dolphins over the Texans. When I looked last, I'm Pretty sure it was an upset.
It is. Yeah, I like
Yeah.
that a lot, Chirk. Actually, I'm probably going to hammer the Dolphins. My upset, Savo try not to smile challenge. I'm going to take the Steelers over the Eagles. I think that the Steelers could pull it off. Now, what's scary is George Pickens probably isn't going to play.
Yeah,
And
he's not playing. He's not playing.
He's not. They already said he's not.
Yeah, he's not.
that ain't good.
But
That is
Mike
not
Williams
good.
has to step up. Mike Williams has to step up.
Yeah,
I
not
picked
even
him up,
just that.
Savo. You see that?
No, I was gonna do it later.
I picked him up already.
You're like my kryptonite. You know that?
I'm the Apes kryptonite. But you
Uh,
beat me. You just beat me last week.
but yeah, I mean, like Bryce Young was hitting Leggett on wide open seam routes. Like Calvin Austin can do that. Najee could do well.
You know what? The Eagles' whole locker room's a mess. I heard. I don't know.
They're having trouble over there, and they're playing the best defense in the league. So yeah, I like the Steelers.
Steelers haven't won in Philadelphia since 1960 something.
I feel like it's one of two things, by the way. It's either AJ Brown first touchdown or his under. It's one of two
To
things.
be honest,
It's like the CD
I-
thing. If they don't get AJ Brown involved early, he's going to be a non-factor in this game.
give me the Rams over the 49ers. The Rams are dogs.
Yeah,
Don't the
that's
Rams
free.
always beat them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Usually, yeah.
And I'll throw you another one too. Give me the
On the bu-
Patriots over the Cardinals. That's
Ooh,
my other one.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow.
that's scrappy.
You're telling me. Wow.
This one's pretty crazy, but Cleveland has nothing to lose. They're gonna upset Kansas City, I think.
Wow.
Nice.
Miles Garrett is gonna get to
Go.
Patrick Mahomes, and people are gonna be like, "Are the Chiefs? Is the dynasty about to fall apart?"
Wow.
Fear the North. They're saying fear the North.
So the Browns end the Chiefs dynasty. Let's
Not
go.
a dynasty. Well, no, they put it in question.
I love it.
The whole
They put it in
dynasty
question because then
question.
everybody's gonna be like, "You just lost to the Browns, and you're barely getting past all these other
Panthers,
games."
yeah.
Yeah. You're
But
sneaking
now-
out these games, and you just lost to the Browns. What's going on here?
This is a saucy one. I'm taking Josh Allen over the Lions. It's gonna be
Wow.
an absolute mud bowl.
Let's go. I hope it is.
I
Josh
would-
Allen's
yeah.
gonna have like 50 fantasy points.
Again?
Again.
I'm
Let's
playing
go
them.
again.
Yeah.
That's our locks. That's our upsets. Now just to close it off, we're gonna roll into our community hotline, which is your guys' hot takes from last week. Let's see how they aged. Ron Rinaldi, Jefferson, 100 and a touchdown. Kaboom. Nick Rinaldi, DK touchdown. No. AJ Brown touchdown. No. Drake London touchdown. No. James Conner touchdown. I think so. That's pitiful.
Yeah, he scored.
The Loch Ness Monster. His lock was the Eagles. They barely won. His upset was the Packers. They barely lost. Hot take, no mustaches this week. Sorry. Eagles
Sorry.
clinch playoff berth. They may have. I don't think so, though.
Yeah, they
Jags versus Titans goes to OT. No, it didn't. And to cap us off, Basin Moransky, lock, Titans and Eagles. 1 for 2. Up. Yeah, the meeting cut out. You saw it on the screen. Comment your hot take below. You'll be in next week's video. Click here to see our last video and click here to subscribe. Happy holidays.